Another one, projecting subqueries. That's something that some programmers do a lot because it's an easy way to code. Take an example, obviously these trivial examples, but you should be able to generalize from them and hope that you'll see what I'm getting at. Here's a query. Select ename dname from emp join dept using deptno. So simple anti-join syntax query that's joining emp to dept. What I want is employee name, their department. And Oracle's done that with a hash join. Scan-driven hash join, nothing wrong with that. Let us then say I want to modify the query to add another column. The end user comes back to me and says, that's all very well, but I want a bit more information. What information does the end user want? Well, there's a table in the schema called, or select star from, there's a sal grade table. And this says that depending on the salary band, if your salary is between 700 and 1200, you are in grade 1. Right. Let us pretend then that the end user comes back and says, I want to add the employee's grade to this query. The lazy way to write that code, and it's not necessarily wrong, but I won't say lazy, I'll say the easy way to do it. It's to take the existing query and make the smallest possible modification to it. There's my existing query that joins emp to dept. And I want to add the sal grade column. The sal grade column, which we see from that table there, a grade based on salary. The easiest way, the safest way, is just to add the column like this. Add another column there, and the column I will add will be a scalar subquery. I add select grade from sal grade to a sal between low sal and high sal. So we take those, compare it to sal, and retrieve the grade. Now, if you have a query that's already 500 lines long, you don't dare touch it. So rather than mucking about with all of this, you can just add that. And it works. And I've got the salary grade. But we've paid a price. The query was previously costed at 6. Well, it's now gone up to 9. Right, because we are having to run that thing repeatedly, the query against sal grade. The alternative way to do it, rather than just projecting a subquery, think of it, everyone. How many times do you project a subquery in your code? It can be pretty bad. What one should do is more work. Rewrite it as a join. If I rewrite it like this, select ename dname grade from emp join dept using deptno join sal grade on. Yes, it's more work, and I've had to adjust the query. It's quite easy in this case because I'm using anti-join syntax. It'd be quite terrifying if it were a huge query and all of a sudden you have to muck about with the join conditions. And now I get the same results, but a totally different execution plan. Previously, it was the original plan, throwing in that, which is correlated. That has to be run repeatedly to project that column. Now, totally different plan, index access path there, loops at the top, and a merge join. The cost is the same at 9. Well, that's just the nature of my data. But you can see that we are no longer scanning these huge tables. We're getting index access paths. And also note, the cost may be the same, but it's now CPU. 23% of it is CPU. We've reduced the I/O workload hugely. So be careful whenever you see projecting subqueries. It may be good, but it can be very expensive indeed. Whenever you see a projected subquery, think, could I rewrite that as a join? The answer is probably yes.